remember a time for my daughter's third birthday party when I cleaned and cleaned all day and it just didn't seem to make a difference, and I piled things, and I mean piled things, into our master bedroom and bathroom and laundry room. I was like, I'll just hide this stuff. A lot of this stuff was just excess stuff that didn't really have a place, and it just kind of floated around our house. My house looked great. Then my aunt asked my mom to see our master bedroom because she hadn't seen our remodel yet. And I was horrified to find that they were in my master bedroom looking at my piles of junk. Have you ever been there? Maybe it wasn't quite as bad as mine, but since I have found a solution, and I hope it can help you. Hey, welcome to One Praying Mama. I'm Lindsay, and my desire with this channel is just to encourage you and let you know you're not alone as we raise kids to love and follow God. Well, I went in my master bedroom and talked to my aunt, and she assured me, oh, it's normal. You have little kids. It's fine. Everybody's house is like this. But I don't know if she was just trying to make me feel better or if it really was just normal. And I think that for a lot of people, that is normal. But since we have found minimalism and really spent years getting rid of things, we downsized our house, and we've really found like a happy amount of items in our home that we can live with and we can manage well, and it has made my life a lot smoother and simpler, and I actually enjoy cleaning my house and having a clean house when I don't have too many things to manage. At that point, we had 2 kids. We were both working full-time, and I didn't really think we spent a lot of money on stuff, but obviously we bought more than we needed. Plus, we had a lot of family members, and we had a daughter that just turned 3, and we had a baby. And, you know, we were receiving a lot of gifts, and Christmas had just ended. But now we are living comfortably on one income with 3 kids. So you do the math. We probably spent a lot more money than we realized on things. We found ourselves once again in between seasons. It's springtime, and spring and fall in Ohio are pretty much a mixture of winter and summer. There's not really a lot of in between. So we have days that it is super cold. 2 days ago it was in the 30s. Today it's supposed to get up to 70, and tomorrow and Sunday are going to be in the 80s. So it's like we spend a few months out of our year with kind of a winter wardrobe and a summer wardrobe, and we just kind of go back and forth. And then, of course, coming out of the holiday season, we always have an abundance of things. We just find ourselves in need of clearing out and getting rid of some stuff. And I think homeschooling and being home all day has added to that, because I feel like I clean up all day long and the kids are, getting stuff out all day long. As I'm in the middle of that, during our spring break week here, I thought I would just share with you a few areas that really make a big difference and have really helped streamline our home, and the things that I'm going to do to get our home back to the somewhat minimalist level that we can maintain. Now, I do want you to know, minimalism is not the thing that brings me peace. It is just a tool that helps create a peaceful environment, but ultimately the presence of God in our home is what brings peace. So if you're looking for minimalism to be like the ultimate source of peace, you're not going to find it there, because what you're looking for is only going to be found in Jesus. But minimalism helps create a peaceful environment, and I function well in a clean, peaceful, decluttered home, and so does my family. When I think about 2 areas that make the biggest impact in our home, I think about the areas that I spend the most time in or working with. So the first is clothes and shoes. I don't know about you, but I feel like laundry is just never ending. Like, as I mentioned, we are in between seasons, so my kids might wear a winter outfit in the morning and a summer outfit in the afternoon, because we have so many clothes out and available to us. As the season goes on, we tend to accumulate more clothes somehow, whether it's an item that we need to add for an occasion, or clothes that are gifts or a grandparent buys or whatever. But we tend to accumulate a lot. And each of my kids have dressers and closets that are overflowing. We don't have enough hangers to hang their clothes on at this point. Their drawers are full and they tend to wear the same things over and over. And then also they've gotten into their summer tubs and are wearing some summer clothes sometimes. So it just becomes an endless pile of laundry. Like I could do several loads of laundry each day and still not be caught up. And that's what I'm doing right now. And when it gets like this, I realize that I need to downsize. And we are going to have a few cold days next week, but still today is time for us to pack away winter stuff, donate things that no longer work, throw away things that are ruined, and get summer stuff out and get ourselves back to a manageable level of clothing for the kids and for ourselves. When we have less clothes in our closets and in our drawers, we are able to stay on top of laundry a lot more easily. I don't know how that works, but it does. And also shoes. We are very thankful that we have family members that love us and that give us gifts and clothes and shoes, and we get hand-me-downs, and a lot of these things are things that we need. But there are also things that we just don't have a use for, or we end up with too many. That definitely happens in the area of shoes. And right now our shoe closet has been overflowing, and most of them are shoes that are duplicates. Like we have multiple pairs of the same shoes for the kids, or they've outgrown some of them, and it's time to just minimize shoes. I feel like we need fewer shoes during the summer even, because they're wearing sandals and flip-flops and playing outside, and they have a pair of muddy boots and some Crocs for outside. And then I want them each to have like a nice pair of sandals for church or things like that. And as I mentioned in a previous video, like we are not trying to be the most stylish. We're not concerned with making sure our kids look like an Instagram picture all the time. We mainly just want to have wardrobes that function. We want them to have decent clothes that they can go to church in or go out places in when we have to go somewhere. And then the rest of their clothes are play clothes. And I have found from past experience and just experimenting that limiting the amount of items in my kids' wardrobes has really helped, and it really functions well for us. So my rule of thumb is typically 5 to 7 outfits each in their play clothes drawer. And that allows for, if they get muddy or something, change their clothes. That allows plenty of clothes for them to have all the clothes they need to play in, go to the park, things like that. And I'm able to take better care of them when there are fewer of them. I'm able to spend more time washing the stains out, washing the mud out of them, because mud, if you don't get it all rinsed out really well, it'll just stay on the clothes. And then they'll have 3 to 5 nice outfits that are for church, and those go in their closet. They're not to wear those. Those don't come out through the week unless we are going somewhere. And that gives them plenty of variety to wear to church, and they're going to pick their favorite things that they want to wear anyway, and there's no point in having an excessive amount of nice things for them to wear when most of the time we're around the house or we're playing, we're outside, especially in the summer. So that has seemed to be the spot that really works well for us. And then maybe a couple pairs of pajamas. And when their drawers are not overly stuffed, it's easy for them to wear pajamas for a couple days and then fold them up and put them back in their drawer. And then after a few days of wearing them to bed, they'll throw them in the hamper to be washed. Also, because next week and potentially here and there, it might still get a little chilly, we'll keep out a couple sweatshirts and maybe 2 pairs of sweatpants or leggings that they can wear when it's a little cooler. But for the most part, it's to the point where at some point during the day, they're going to be wearing shorts anyway. So they can just grab a sweatshirt in the morning if they need to, and that will function pretty well. Now, for my husband and I, we don't go through clothes as quickly as the kids do because they are still growing, and we wear our clothes for multiple seasons, multiple years until they're worn out and really can't be worn anymore. We're sometimes more likely to get rid of things that don't fit us right or whatever. So it's not as much of a process for us as it is for them. But still, I'm going through and I'm getting rid of things that I haven't worn. If I have a sweatshirt or two that I haven't really worn all winter, or something that I don't really feel looks good on me anymore, I'll get rid of that. The main point is that if you don't like it and you don't wear it, then there's no reason to have it in your closet. If you're not reaching for it on a regular basis to wear, then you don't really need it, because you're going to keep wearing the things that you feel good in and that you feel comfortable in, and you're not going to go back to those items. If you haven't worn them this winter, then you're likely not going to wear them next winter. It really just makes the decision-making process of getting dressed in the morning, picking out clothes for church, and that kind of thing, it makes it so much simpler because everything in your closet is something that you will wear. The second impactful area in your home is going to be your kitchen. We spend so much time in our kitchen, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom. You spend time cooking and cleaning your kitchen for every meal of the day. Even if you work, you're likely fixing a lot of food at home, and I've really found that getting rid of items and gadgets and things like that that I don't use on a regular basis has really streamlined the kitchen, has made cleaning up a lot easier. And when you have a place for everything, it is so much simpler. And for instance, I don't even use an air fryer. I used to use an Instapot, but it broke. And I've gotten to the point where if I can find a method that I can use, I don't need the item. And I loved the way the air fryer cooked the food, but I don't like having a lot of extra items sitting on my counter. I like my counters to be clear, because that's the space where I prepare food in all day, and I function a lot better with clear counters. Plus, we have a small kitchen. I would prefer to just put French fries on a baking sheet in the oven and cook them that way than deal with getting out the air fryer and cleaning it up and putting it away after. That's a lot simpler to me. So I have streamlined things to where if I have a simpler way of cooking an item, then I'm going to do it the simplest way. And usually that doesn't involve getting a big gadget or appliance out in order to cook it. And also dishes, Tupperware containers, things like that. I've found that less is more in that area. We store a lot of leftovers. My husband packs leftovers in his lunch, but I still find that a small to moderate amount of containers for leftovers works a lot better. If I run out of leftover containers, it's because I have too many leftovers in my fridge and I need to clean that out. And we try to be really good about eating leftovers, but there's always something that usually ends up in there for too long and we have to throw it out. But having a manageable amount of containers is going to keep our fridge from getting overwhelmed with it, and it's going to help me put the dishes away more easily. That's an area that we have to just continually declutter because we're always getting something. There's always something being brought in, whether it's family members sending home leftovers in some of those meal prep containers. When it gets beyond a level that we can easily manage and use on a day-to-day basis, it's time for stuff to go. And again, we usually have favorite containers that we tend to reach for if they're available. We have favorite dishes that we use, coffee mugs, to-go cups. We have favorite pots and pans. We have favorite appliances, spatulas, everything. We have a favorite that we're going to use. So if that's the only one we have, then that's fine because that's the one that we're going to use anyway. So tell me in the comments, what are some things that you have let go of in your life that have made a huge difference? What are some ways that you streamline your home and your routines by getting rid of things? Or what questions do you have? We have significantly decluttered every area of our home, every area of our lives. but it is an ongoing process. So chances are I have some experience in getting rid of things in any category you can imagine. So subscribe if you haven't already. I hope this video helped you, and I hope you have a great week.